Right then, Rob, what do we have here?
Well, Julian, we've obviously been talking about labels, applications, and having a digital partner to work with. Obviously, CaterCloud, we have a solution, our free-to-use platform for menu costing, allergen management, label printing. So most people are familiar with this piece of kit, standard office printer. Most kitchens, as we know, don't have the facility for Wi-Fi or having printers in.
Yeah. So this is a standard office. You'll
printer.
See these anywhere. So okay, so that could be the print cost solution.
Yeah, print cost solution.
Brilliant.
You've already got it. It's already within your the business budget. Print straight from CaterCloud application. Various templates, various permissionable attributes as to what you want on the label. Obviously, the important ones are all there, but a description of the dish, etc., etc. So there's various permissional levels, and then like I said earlier, we've got a fantastic platform, and again, I'm going to emphasise it's free to use because the charges of some of our competitors out there is absolutely astronomical, and post-COVID, people haven't got the money, but this law's coming in and they've got to get on board. So we've given this back to the industry. That's what we've done as a company, but we're not the experts in everything. So we've got third-party label providers. We've got Daymark with their MAT85 menu command and menu pilot for roll printers straight in the kitchen. Durable piece of kit, very very competitive rates, especially if you come and see me. And then through APIs, we push the information straight from CaterCloud. That's all in there, all the nutritionals, all the allergen information, straight through to these guys, or our other partner, Planglo, which draw fed even sheets, A4 sheets, labels, various designs. Yeah. So minimal cost. There's no charge for using our third-party providers. And CaterCloud's free. So I said earlier, it doesn't have to be expensive. Yeah, it's the... and our solution won't suit everybody, but it will suit most of you. So, pick the phone up, email, etc. Just get on board.
So the crucial thing is that, some awesome label templates, which are superb. Ink within a printer and printer. So then, depending on the operation, you need to then set out what else you need. If it's kitchen-based printers, sounds great. So, but technically, for the cost of ink and some print label, we can achieve.
We've got a solution.
We've got a solution, right? Okay, that's the important thing. That and I guess what type of business you are, the volume of print and labels you need
is going
to dictate
the equipment that you need.
Yeah,
of course,
exactly.
Of course.
Yeah, brilliant.
And I just
wonderful.
think, get it out there. Yeah. Let's get people on board. Yeah. If you're worried, you've got a few issues. We've already said there's a free one-to-one with Julian and I after this webinar. So,
more than happy to talk at length on any of these aspects. It is a journey. The whole implementation of allergen regulation has been a massive journey. It started many years ago. If you look at the legislation 2011, so enforceable 2014. It's a long journey, and we're just on that next part of that now. So it's been brilliant, Rob. So it's simplicity, what you've done so far, and just to prove the point that you've said something earlier, it's not about adding that extra big expense to catering management yet again. Let's use this regulation, use it wisely, turn it into something that's part and parcel of business, but don't go spending heaps on a package.
Tell you one thing we haven't mentioned throughout all of today. Yeah. And that is the big grey area. Yeah. May contains. Yeah. So we've obviously, you and I have worked together for a few years now. Yes. And collaborated on CaterCloud. Yeah. And within the features of CaterCloud, we have the ability to meet allergen accreditation standard by turning may contains off. We have the ability to upload a risk assessment so that you can add a may contain. But obviously, we know that point is a bit mute in the community, and it does take a lot of choice away from people.
It does, yeah. And just to clarify that, within any establishment, and think of just a product, a PPDS labeled sandwich through to a big catering operation, Operators have always had an element of default setting that if they're not 100% sure what products are in their packaging or within their dish that they're serving, then the term may contain can be used. But you can only use that after a meaningful or thorough risk assessment, meaning you can't just say may contain. And the issue, I'm glad you said it's contentious, because the issue is that a lot of producers, caterers, operators, manufacturers use this expression far too loosely and without much substantial evidence as to how they've gotten there. So if you are you're a hypersensitive customer, you get to, and let's think PPDS, you get to this wonderfully glossy label on what looks like a phenomenal sandwich from a super shop, and at the bottom there it's got may contain several allergens made in a factory. All that to me seems to be a huge waste of time. So if you're creating a catering business to carry this logo, which is allergen accreditation, which is the industry best practice standard, the use of may contain isn't, it can't be done, because you have to declare all the ingredients in your product. If you don't know what's in there, you'll be struggling to become allergen accredited. So there's the difference. Yeah. A big part of the market will exist with using some element of may contain statements, and that's their prerogative. There is a rationale behind that. Manufacturing use this because the ingredient is not an intentional part of the component. It's possibly come into contact at some point in production. So as is unintentional, the use of may contain is perfectly legal, don't get me wrong. But it can only be expressed when you've got a tangible reason for that. So if you have that element of may contain in your labeling, be prepared to be asked questions, which defeats the entire object of taking the verbal communication away from your business. You're now going back to verbal, so it makes it a bit pointless to say our products could contain anything.
I'll tell you what.
But this is allergen accreditation, so I'll zip that at this point. But the functionality is there.
Yeah,
That's
the
the crucial
functionality
thing.
is there.
If you're allergen accredited or not, then this system is. And it's great that you've got this this switch off mode.
It just gives again, it just gives our users, the chance to be industry leading and get the allergen accreditation. Collaboration over the last 2 years. Yeah. Julian's had this standard out for a number of years now. Recently revised. There's now a 3-step entry process. So there's a gold, silver, and bronze. Yeah, absolutely. So you don't need to go headlong into it. You can work your way up to the gold standard. Yeah. But for any more information on that, drop me an email, drop Julian an email. Yeah. And we'll get that over to you as soon as possible. Yeah. But the big question is, what do may contains mean to the consumer?
Yes. Yeah.